It's 8:42 a.m. You're standing in line, half awake, staring at the menu. You order your usual $6 latte, tap your card, and instantly that familiar internal voice shows up. The one that sounds like every finance influencer online telling you this is exactly why you're broke. Somewhere, someone is multiplying $6 by 365 days and warning you that your daily habit is destroying your future. The calculator comes out, the compound interest chart appears. The conclusion feels obvious. If you just skip this one small indulgence, you'd be wealthy. It sounds logical, it sounds disciplined, it even sounds mature. But what if that advice is quietly sabotaging you? What if skipping that coffee doesn't actually make you richer, but statistically increases the chances you'll make worse financial decisions later? The math they show you is clean and simple. The math they don't show you is where the real story begins. The latte math sounds convincing. Let's start with the part everyone agrees on. $6 a day, 5 days a week, equals roughly $1,560 per year. Invest that at a 7% annual return for 30 years, and you're looking at a six-figure outcome. This philosophy, often associated with financial authors like David Bach, is built on a powerful idea. Small habits compound into massive results. But here's the hidden assumption. The calculation assumes that every single dollar you save from skipping coffee will be invested consistently for 3 decades without interruption. It assumes you will never redirect that money towards something else. It assumes your behavior is perfectly rational, emotionally stable, and immune to stress. Real life doesn't work that way. Humans don't live inside spreadsheets. We live inside unpredictable environments, demanding jobs, emotional fluctuations, and decision fatigue. When financial advice ignores that reality, the numbers become misleading. The formula isn't wrong, but the behavioral model behind it often is. The psychology of deprivation. At first, cutting a small pleasure feels empowering. You skip the coffee and feel disciplined. You tell yourself you're serious about your future. For a few weeks, everything seems fine. But over time, something subtle happens. Behavioral psychology has repeatedly shown that when people practice restriction without a sustainable replacement strategy, they experience what's often called rebound behavior. The brain begins to keep score. When you consistently deny yourself small, manageable rewards, you create internal tension. That tension doesn't disappear. It accumulates. Eventually, it demands release. You skip coffee all week. By Friday, you feel like you deserve something bigger. That might be a $35 online shopping session, it might be an expensive dinner, it might be a spontaneous weekend trip because you earned it. The purchase feels justified because you've been good. The coffee wasn't the financial leak, it was functioning as a controlled indulgence. Remove that without addressing deeper habits, and the pressure shifts somewhere more expensive. The structural expenses that actually matter. Here's where the conversation needs to shift. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, transportation consistently ranks as one of the largest household expenses after housing. That means car payments, insurance, maintenance, fuel. Then there are subscription services. Platforms like Netflix, Disney Plus, and Amazon Prime feel small individually, but stack them with music apps, software tools, gym memberships, cloud storage, and forgotten free trials, and you're often looking at $200 to $300 per month in recurring charges that provide minimal marginal value. Frequent dining out adds another layer. Not occasional celebration dinners, but habitual convenience spending because you're too exhausted to cook. Add regular tech upgrades, impulse purchases over $100, and lifestyle inflation driven by comparison, and many households are quietly leaking $1,500 to $2,000 per month. That's $18,000 to $24,000 per year. This is where real wealth is lost, not in a paper cup. Why coffee became the villain? Coffee is symbolic, it's visible, it's easy to dramatize. You can hold it up in a video and say, "This is why you're broke." It creates a simple villain and a simple solution. Structural expenses are harder to confront because they involve identity. Downsizing your car challenges your self-image. Canceling subscriptions forces you to admit you overcommitted. Reducing dining out may require addressing burnout rather than just spending habits. Blaming coffee avoids those deeper conversations. It shifts attention toward a controllable daily choice instead of a larger lifestyle decision. The narrative becomes emotionally satisfying because it feels actionable. But emotionally satisfying advice isn't always financially effective advice. The small purchase becomes a scapegoat, while the large fixed expenses continue compounding quietly in the background. Sustainable wealth is behavioral. If building wealth were purely arithmetic, everyone would follow the same formula: spend less than you earn, invest the difference, and wait. But wealth is behavioral before it is mathematical. Emotional regulation plays a massive role in financial outcomes. For many people, that $6 coffee represents a structured pause in the day. It's a ritual, a moment of control, a predictable reward in an otherwise chaotic schedule. When you eliminate every small source of joy in pursuit of optimization, you create financial fatigue. Fatigue reduces willpower. Reduced willpower increases impulsive behavior. That impulsive behavior could cost far more than the original indulgence ever would have. The goal is not to eliminate pleasure. The goal is to design a financial system that supports consistency. Sustainable systems outperform extreme discipline every time because they are easier to maintain over decades. The math that actually builds wealth. Let's redirect the focus. Instead of cutting $1,560 per year in coffee, imagine restructuring higher impact categories. Reducing a $550 car payment by choosing a reliable used vehicle could free thousands annually. Auditing and eliminating $250 in unnecessary subscriptions immediately improves cash flow. Cooking more meals at home instead of defaulting to convenience dining reduces another significant expense. Extending phone upgrades from yearly to every 3 or 4 years preserves capital. Setting boundaries around impulse purchases over $100 prevents emotional leaks. Together, these adjustments can free roughly $1,500 per month. That's $18,000 per year. Invest $18,000 annually at 7% for 30 years, and the result crosses into 7 figures. And here's the difference: you still get your coffee. You're not fighting yourself every morning. You're optimizing the structural math while preserving small joys that keep the behavior sustainable. That combination is powerful. The $6 latte is not bankrupting you. Structural expenses, lifestyle inflation, and emotionally driven high-cost decisions are far more influential over time. Small pleasures, when intentional and controlled, can actually support financial stability by preventing larger reactive spending. Wealth is rarely destroyed by microspending. It's usually eroded by major fixed costs and unexamined habits repeated consistently over years. When you shift your focus from symbolic cuts to structural improvements, the compound interest formula finally starts working in your favor instead of against you. Tomorrow morning, buy the coffee if it genuinely adds value to your day. Then open your banking app and examine the big numbers. Reduce the structural leaks. Strengthen the system. Protect the small joys that keep you consistent. Optimize the big decisions. Preserve the rituals that keep you steady. That's how you build wealth without hating your life.